let's say I'm certain that you're here, I'm certain that you're not a hologram.
Are you certain I'm here?
Of course I can't be 100% certain.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Look, what's your name?
Cedric.
Cedric.
Yeah, what's your
Okay, my name is Muhammad, like the Prophet. Yeah. Look, Cedric, it's very simple. What you're demonstrating right now is the whole reason. What you're demonstrating right now is the whole reason why we say as Muslims is a problem in this conversation. Why? Because if you start from the premise that there is nothing absolute, I cannot be certain about anything. You're not even certain that I'm talking to you right now and you're talking to me. So it becomes absurd, right? So what I usually say to the people, when you're certain that I'm here, come back. You're not certain I'm here. When you're certain I'm here, come back, we can have a discussion. When you're certain that when you can achieve this level of certainty, whether there is a creator or not, come back. But we as Muslims, we are people of certainty. We do not hallucinate. We do not think that you're a ghost. You're not really in front of me. We are certain of our existence. We are certain of the existence of our creator. We are certain this universe has to have a creator that made it, an intelligent designer, something that above us as a human being that brought it into existence. Now, whether you subscribe to that or not, we're not really bothered. We want good for you, meaning we want you to come close to the truth, but we're not really bothered if you say, I'm not going to accept you, you don't tell me what to do. I'll say, okay, go, no problem. We're not going to try to force anything on you, right?
I don't understand.
So that's what we're not trying to convince you. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I don't understand why do I have to be certain. Look, I said there's two types of certainty. The example I just showed you, like referring you to as maybe being a hologram, is absurd. That's absurd, right? I wouldn't actually believe it. But when I say there's two types of certainty, that type of certainty is like a very minute, insignificant type of certainty. And what I'm trying to achieve.
Look, you kind of playing word gymnastics, because look, certainty means something in English, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to redefine the word to fit.
I mean,
yes.
There's when in everyday conversation.
Okay.
I don't say I'm not certain whether that book is real or not, because I can touch it, I can, flip it, and.
But you're not certain the book is there, though.
No,
Think about it. Are you certain?
No, that's not my point. My point is that type of certainty does not have a place in this conversation. The type of certainty I want to achieve is, this type of certainty that I know you're here. You know what I mean?
But you just said you don't know that I'm here.
No, like, as in, how do I say it?
Look, let me tell you something. Remind me, your name is what?
Cedric.
Cedric, look, I'll be honest with you. Look, I can see you're very conflicted. But honestly, with my discussion with you, I can see you're uncertain about what you're saying. You're uncertain about what you're certain about, and you're not certain about. You're
taking because like the whole argument about certainty shouldn't even be a thing. You know what I mean?
According to who?
Well, I'm saying.
Are you certain that we shouldn't be talking about certainty?
No,
well, Cedric, look, come to Islam, man. Well, I don't know. Come to certainty, they believe the Quran. Yeah.
Sorry?
He's saying come to Islam. Like, look, this kind of. Let me tell you something. Denying certainty leads you to absurdity. Now, listen to what I'm saying very carefully. To denying absolute certainty leads you to absurdity. Yeah. Because you cannot claim that nothing is certain, because you're not certain about that statement to begin with. So you will self-refute yourself. So you cannot make any claims about absolute certainty that there is no absolute certainty. No one can make that claim. If you make that claim, then you're self-contradicting yourself.
We can make postulates, right? We can make postulates. So that type of certainty that we're arguing over meaninglessly is the type that is absurd. It shouldn't be part of our conversation. That is not.
But that's according to you. We disagree. We believe you cannot be a Muslim without being certain of your faith, for example, in our tradition, right? So certainty is very important for us. That's why I said to you, when you're certain you're here, when you know what will convince you, then we can have this discussion. But if you're not certain about your own existence or other people's existence, or what certainty is, or what will lead you to be sure whether there's a creator or not, or religion is true or not, because you watch a lot of people who talk a lot with using uncertain terms, uncertain about their own existence and reality. This is the type of people you listen to, they're only going to lead you to confusion. Trust me, you're going to live your life in confusion. You're going to live your life, you don't know you're there, other people are there, they're not there, there's a creator, there is no creator, can I be certain or not? not. This is what philosophy in the end leads you to, you know?
Isn't philosophy good?
Depends on how you define philosophy. We say common sense,
Right.
not to exaggerate and talk about nonsense and make up nonsensical ideas. Sophistry, for example, this is not a good thing, but it's a part of philosophy, right? We're saying, look, things which are common sense, reasoning, we accept, we're happy with. Just philosophy for the sake of philosophizing and sounding intelligent is not an important thing for us. So it depends on how you define philosophy and what you mean by philosophy.
I want to clarify something. When you said something about questioning even my very own existence and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a very bad thing to do.
Yeah, that's why the people you listen to have convinced you with. They told you that, look, you cannot be biased. You have to be an intellectual human being. You have to question everything and to come to.
But that's a scientific method.
No, not really. You are born with certain things that are intuitive to you that cannot be proved that are axiom. For example, you cannot use science without relying on certain axioms.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Sure.
Yeah,
and if you really did not believe these axioms were true, you would not practice science. The only way you can practice science is to actually truly believe these things are true, because otherwise the method becomes useless. Because what I'm basing the method on itself is not certain. So why would I practice a method which is based on uncertainty that in the end would lead me to uncertainty?
Well, those are called postulates. Well, the postulates of science is actually quite, few. Well, first of all, the postulate of science would be logic holds. Logic actually makes sense. So that if we
logic makes sense. I like that.
No. You need.
Right? Okay, I get what you say. Yeah.
And the laws of physics is true for every bit of space and time. Those are postulates. So
no, but are they certain? And if the answer is no,
yeah, the answer is no.
If the answer is no, then there is no point of me trying to apply my scientific method. It's just not waste of my time, because I know that these things are not certain. Therefore, why would I apply a method to study something which is not uncertain, using a method which is uncertain to lead me to something which is uncertain? Look, you don't understand how crazy that is unless you actually properly think about it. There are certain things that every human being need to accept and need to apply to be certain about.
No, you kept saying there are certain things that are certain.
If they are based on common sense.
Let's say that's true.
I'll give you an example if you want me.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, for example, the law of non-contradiction.
Okay.
That's something which we believe is certain. We believe there cannot be a squared circle, because if it's a square, it's not a circle, and if it's a circle, it's not a square, right? So there are certain things. For example, this law of non-contradiction, which I'm giving you, there are different other things like it, right? So we say, for example, the intuitive knowledge, which is the idea of law of non-contradiction, or for example, cause and effect in relation to the creation, because we know that we as humans, we always look for a cause for anything innately, and these beliefs are true. We are saying the belief in a creator is also innate, and there are studies on that. In Oxford University, Justin Barrett conducted a study, 50 academics or more. In a span of 2 years, they brought children from China and from different countries which are atheistic, doesn't have a concept of God. They realized that every child is born with an innate disposition to believe in a creator. So, and there are many studies that have been done on this same idea. Every civilization that exists in human history believes in some sort of higher entity. So if it is an innate belief, which is the highest form of knowledge that I'm just established to you, the highest form of knowledge, because everything else is based upon it. The highest form of knowledge is intuition. And if you have an intuitive belief that is universal, I'm not talking about just some intuitive beliefs, I'm talking about the universal ones, right? For example, us being born knowing that there is a creator, or us being born looking for a cause for the effects that happen around us, or us being born knowing that there is nothing called the law of non-contradiction, for example. We know that cannot have contradictory things, right? These things that we're born with, one of them is the existence of a creator.
Okay.
One of them, and I've given you just the evidences for that. And one of them is the existence of a creator, and it's a universal belief within all human beings. Therefore, there is the highest form of knowledge, and that's what we subscribe to.
Okay. So, in case I don't understand it, so can I illustrate it as intuition is certainty. Like
No.
no.
I'm saying the highest form. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That's very bad.
No problem.
Are you saying because something is intuitive, it should make sense?
I'll explain it to you in a very simple way. The highest form of knowledge is intuitive knowledge, universal intuitive knowledge.
Why is it intuitive?
Why? I'm going to come to that. Yeah. So the highest form of knowledge is universal intuitive knowledge. Why it is the highest form of knowledge? Because everything is built upon it. If it is not there, you cannot do anything. Everything has to be built upon intuitive universal knowledge, just such as the fact that you exist. We have an intuitive universal knowledge that we exist. That the Creator exists. That we exist and that the Creator exists, both of them. Therefore, Muslims accept this reality that there has to be a Creator out there. Simple.
No, that's a postulate. You're postulating that intuitive knowledge is the highest form of knowledge.
Do you agree that everything is based upon it?
I disagree. Like,
so
intuition is.
So how can you do anything without knowing you exist first?
Because intuition is not a form of knowledge. It's how we perceive this world, which works, but it's not.
What I mean by intuitive, let me clarify, because maybe you're misunderstanding me. What I mean by intuitive is an innate knowledge that is within you that is not given to you by your outside factors. That's what I mean by intuitive knowledge here, right? To be clear. So what I mean by universal intuitive knowledge is the knowledge that you're born with, right? And that no one is given to you, your society didn't give to your community, didn't give to you, you're born with it innately.
But that still doesn't explain why it's the highest form of knowledge. And
I already answered that. I said because everything else is based on that.
No, you're saying that's your postulate and you build everything.
Where's my postulate? You disagree that everything is based on the idea that you exist first?
No, you're saying everything else are built upon your intuitive knowledge or whatever.
Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
I don't think you're understanding me. Is everything based on the idea that we exist and that we can rationalize, and some of the laws of rationality is non-contradiction that I was making to you, or cause and effect? Without, let me put it to you in this way, without knowing that I exist, without the law of non-contradiction and without causality, can you do anything?
Well, you can't, but that doesn't prove it's true.
No, but that proves that everything is based on it.
Yeah, I agree.
And if something is a foundation, is a foundation of knowledge and understanding,
okay,
it is by definition higher than something which is relying on it. Because it does not rely on anything else, is independent, while other sources of knowledge has to rely on it. That's what makes it a stronger form of knowledge.
Okay, but that's not proof that is true.
I'm not saying. I'm saying it's the highest form of knowledge.
No, okay,
and you know it is true.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree that we need to make certain postulates in order to build.
We need to rely on certain realities or facts in order for us to do anything. Anything. To reason, to talk, to do anything. We have to rely on this law of non-contradiction, because if the law of non-contradiction is not true, then we cannot even use language. Because what I'm saying can mean the exact opposite of what I'm saying, which means you cannot even respond to what I'm saying. You get the point? So these things, I'm telling you, without these things, you cannot reason, you cannot live your life, you cannot do anything, which would mean they are a higher form of knowledge because everything would depend on them, while they do not depend on anything else. They are existent by themselves. And because they are universal, and we know they are true, because we can observe them being true, the idea of a belief of a creator is also true because it's one of those intuitive beliefs.
Okay, so let's move on from that argument. Yeah, it's getting a bit stale. So let's say those intuition are true.
No, let's not say. Let's tell me what's wrong with the argument if you don't accept the argument.
No, because.
Do you know what's wrong with the argument?
Yes, I know. No. Look. Can't make any arguments without, basic logics or
reasoning. Yeah. Yes,
so
reasoning,
and to accept them in order to have any arguments.
In order to do anything.
Yeah, to do anything. Yeah. So I agree. We need them in order to reason, but that does not make it true.
So they're false.
No, not necessarily. That's not a proof. I believe it's true, but that's not a proof.
But how did you? Let me tell you again how you self-contradict yourself. How do you know they're not true? You use them to know they're not true, which is a self-defeating argument. You cannot use them to come to the conclusion that they're not true, and they claim that they're not true, which would mean your conclusion is also not true. Do you see how you contradict yourself? I've told you, I'm trying to give you good advice. I'm telling you, if you live your life the way you do, you'll just contradict yourself every 2 minutes, just like I'm showing you. You cannot claim reasoning is deficient, meaning it's not absolutely true, and then use your reasoning to come to that conclusion. This just becomes self-contradictory. You understand? You're self-refuting your own self. So if you accept that they are true, because you have no other choice except to accept that they're true, otherwise we cannot have this conversation anyways. So if you accept that they're true, then you accept that the intuitive knowledge that we're born with is true, because that's all of these forms that you have to accept in order for you to reason with me. You have no choice. And if you do that, then one of them is the belief of a creator that is innate within human beings.
Why is one of them believing in God?
Because the creator has put that within us, and I give you studies that shows that. So the creator has placed within us this innate knowledge of his existence, like the just and bad experiment, or every civilization separated by time, by everything. All of them believe in a higher power that brought the universe into existence. The Native Americans, for example.
Just because someone believes in something doesn't mean.
No, I'm saying universal beliefs. I said they brought children from 20 different countries. They're not countries which are atheistic, do not believe in a concept of God, which means the parents did not teach them that. So it's a universal thing within every human being. It's not someone believes something.
I agree. It's a universal belief. Yeah, it's a universal belief. I agree with that.
Is that rooftop wireless?
What I disagree.
We're just going in circles. I think, as I said to you, when you're certain of your existence, when you're certain that we can come to certainty.
That has nothing to do with what I.
It does, because that's the whole reason you're trying to reject the ideas, the laws of non-contradiction, all of that.
Okay, how about this? I accept that logic is real.
No, you do that for the sake of argument. You don't really
do that for the sake of argument. I accept logic is real, but that does not make any of our intuition automatically.
So
real.
okay, let's use your reasoning. Logic is real.
Okay.
So according to logic, can something come from nothing? Absolute nothingness. No energy, no matter, no space, nothing.
Well, I don't know. The answer is I don't know.
No, according to logic, not according to you.
No.
0 plus 0 plus 0 equals what?
That's math.
Yeah, I'm giving you a math. As I said to you before, math represents something in reality, right? So 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 equals what?
0.
0. So nothing can always give you what? Nothing. Cannot ever give you something, because there's no agency, there's no space, there's no matter, there's no quanta. So according to logic, can you have something from nothing?
Okay, fine. Let's go with your argument.
No.
I want to know where you're going. Okay.
No, look, but this is the problem.
If you're going to make an argument, go ahead.
No, this is the problem. If you not accept the premises of the argument, then we're just wasting our time. You get my point?
Yeah.
Okay, as I said to you, just go when you're certain. I don't know why you don't want to go, man. When you're certain, when you know that okay, we can come to conclusions. I know that I'm here. Come back and we have a discussion.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Right.
Okay, but pleasure talking to you. Nice talking to you. Yeah. See you around. Thank you. Nice talking to you.
قال يا عشيرتي جميعكم حتى ابنتي لا أغني عنكم فاعبدوا إلهكم ووحدوا.
إذا أعجبك الفيديو لا تنسى الإعجاب والتعليق، ولكي يصلك كل جديد اشترك الآن.